A little tough, I will say, but
Yeah.
otherwise it was pretty cool.
I
Okay.
improved time-wise because I had a better understanding of what to do.
Yeah. Well, right now we're trying to lay that foundation so that we know what we have to accomplish, and then we'll just start shortening the time. Like, I'm not going to give you, we're going to take a week to revise them, and then you'll know what it is to have like a final version of that. And then we'll just see, okay, what can we do if we only have 45 minutes? What can we do if we only have an hour? And we'll just kind of do them here in class together, like while everybody's working. So we'll start shortening the time. But I feel like if you just start with short periods of time, then you never really get the opportunity to grow and learn what you could do with it. And now it's just going to be about decisions about, okay, what do I have to leave out because I only have a limited amount of time. But we're going to work on that this week. Anybody else want to chime in on how their essay went? It's the first draft. We're going to do revisions on them and conferences this week. So I think I put them down to be due next Friday, but I'll get to that in the overview here. So updates, this is an A week. So you have formatives Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week. And then we have a long weekend. So that's good at least, right?
What do you mean a long weekend? I heard my second period teacher say that we have a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, there's no
Is that
school on
true?
Monday. Yeah,
Why?
it's true. Super Bowl.
Oh,
Oh,
Wait, we don't have school this coming Monday?
right, a week from today, there's no school. Is it too hard to believe? We always have the Monday after Super Bowl off. I mean, forget Martin Luther King or any of those other holidays. Dr. King would probably want us to be in school anyway. But point being, yeah, Monday there's no class. So that means that we'll have class next week on Wednesday to make up for it. So just keep that in mind on your calendar. But I don't have there's not going to be a specific assignment on Monday next week. There's no formative or anything like that because it's weather day. It's a weather day. I skipped over senior events and I do want to touch on that because I know there's some seniors in class. So if you didn't see on the school Twitter, or also they emailed this out, I think it went out yesterday. They did give some dates for some springtime events for the seniors. It'd be good to jot those down, let your mom know, all that good stuff, so that everybody's on the same page. I did notice that they put in locations for all of these. This is the PAC Center, this is the Heinz Event Center, that's where they had the prom, I think last year or 2 years ago, Bobby Lackey. So since they're putting in locations, it makes me think that they're going to be shooting for a live event. Otherwise, why you wouldn't need that? What?
do we have to
Renee?
show up to any of those events aside from graduation or even graduation? Do we have to show up? Can we just go pick up the diploma and that's it?
Yeah,
Right.
but on the scholarship awards assembly, people are giving you money.
Okay,
Like,
that
you
one
know,
I'll go.
yeah, right. Honors banquet is where let me go through them a little bit just so that you know. And juniors, you can just be aware for next year. But the honors banquet is when they give you your honors stole. There's also an honors tassel that you get if you're graduating with honors. You should know by now whether you're graduating with honors or not, but I guess some people are on the borderline, but probably you are. They also announced the valedictorian, salutatorian, and the top 25 at that event, and it's a dinner. So they invite you, and traditionally they've invited 2 of your family members. I don't know how that's going to work. It says at the bottom that subject to change due to CDC regulations. So I guess they're hoping that things are going to be lifted a little bit by then. And so that's a dinner. That's a sit-down dinner that they invite all of the honors graduates to, and everybody gets their stole and all that stuff. The awards assembly, if you do any of the local scholarships, I anticipate that in the next couple of weeks, the counselor is going to want to come in and talk to you about how to do the local scholarships. But I've had students, just with local scholarships, get $10,000 to $15,000 in scholarships that they could put in their bank. It's money. The local scholarships are not necessarily associated with your schools that you're attending. So local scholarships are where you show that you enrolled and they give you a check. Some of them are $1,500, some of them are $500, some of them are more, but it kind of adds up. And so what they figure, these local organizations and families, some families have like memorial scholarships for people who've passed away in their family. And they want to help somebody get started with college by giving them money so that they can buy things they might need. Maybe you need a laptop. Maybe you need transportation money. Maybe you need books, whatever, so that you can put money in a bank account and draw on that as you start off college. So I think the counselors will be coming in. There's an online process for that, for filling all those out. And they'll walk you through it. There's a due date usually at the end of March. And then, so at that night, May 11th, they announce the winners to all those local scholarships. So the seniors show up and it's like a game show kind of. Everybody, come on down, you won the whatever scholarship. And then, or like elementary schools, they all give out scholarships to elementaries and the middle schools. Don't you remember being younger and you got to wear something besides like jeans on Friday or something like that if you paid $1? All that money goes toward the scholarships that they give at the end of the year. So the administrator shows up, or the counselor. Sometimes they have the little kids with them and they want to hand the little certificate to the graduate. So, that's pretty cool. So that's that night. And then senior parade, I guess that's something new. We did do that last year because we wanted to do something for the seniors. And last year everything was, kind of sketch, and we didn't really know what was happening, and we felt bad because they were all traumatized. And at least, you guys have the same situation, but at least we have planning time. So at least we can make some things happen. Then we really couldn't. So we did have a parade, but it was, kind of like just an opportunity for the teachers to come to the parking lot and wave to the seniors in their cars, and they decorated their cars and stuff. So I'm guessing you'll get more information about that. Also, the STC graduation is that same day. I've heard conflicting things about the STC graduation. For those of you who might be graduating with your degree from STC, I've heard that it's going to be virtual, and then some students were asking me, is it live? Because they do say Pain Arena, so I don't know. I thought STC was 100% online through the end of the summer. That's what we were told in our department meeting, because I teach the dual enrollment. And I have to go to faculty meetings over there at STC also, and that's what they were saying. So I don't know. Stay tuned for information from Mrs. Martinez on that. Graduation night is May 28th. They're saying stadium 7:30. I think that they could safely do it. Space the graduates' chairs out, make people in the stands space out somehow, or only invite a certain number of people or something like that. But if it's outdoors, I think it's a little bit easier to bring people to an event, because outdoors has, the breeze and whatnot. Anyway, so you might want to save that image and share it with your family. That way you have all the dates lined up. It's going to happen real fast before those dates are upon us. What else? Okay, the last update here is poetry analysis essays. You should have turned in by Saturday. They were due. Was it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. Saturday they were due, the poetry analysis essays, the one where you chose one of 3 AP prompts to respond to. I had gone through those prompts, so I had given you a little bit of direction, but you should have submitted a draft, a complete draft. I'm going to be looking at those, and I want for you to set up a conference with me for this week. We're not going to have class on Wednesday, but I'm going to, I set up the time frames for the conferences. If you click right here where it says link, oh no, that's not it. It's down here under sign up for your essay conference. You can go to this link and choose a time, just like we have done in the past, like for the book conferences. So you'll see that Wednesday, I'm including class time because we're not meeting as a class, but I can meet with people. So you can pick whatever time works for you, sign up, and it will send you the link of where we're gonna talk about your essay. But we'll have a one-on-one about your essay, and then the finals are due a week from Friday. So not even, this Friday's for like consultations and discussion, and then you'll have a week to work on your new draft and then turn those in. So you can click on that right here where it says link. I do want you to come to the meeting having some ideas about this, these 3 questions, right? What and where is your claim? Like, know where your thesis is. I'm going to ask you. It's a shame if you don't know where the thesis is in your own essay, right? What score do you think the essay would earn using the rubric that we've been studying? Like, where do you think you are on the 1 to 6 scale right now? Why do you think that? What sections of the essay do you want to focus on? I mean, I'm going to give you my feedback, and I'll have read your essay by the time we have your conference, and I'll have some comments for you. But I think also sometimes it's good to look at what you're concerned about your essay, and I can give you some reassurance or some feedback about that. So we'll talk about that as well. So you have a little bit of prep to do before your conference, but you can click right here on that You Can Book Me site, and it puts them, I love that site because it just puts them right into my calendar, and it checks to see if I don't have a meeting, it won't make the meeting. So I think that that's pretty cool. But do that. That's going to be between now and, well, between Wednesday and Friday. Pick a time between Wednesday and Friday, and we'll talk about your essay. I think that's it for updates. Any other updates? Something that I forgot to talk about? Questions on any of those things? Okay. You should have read for today the background information on Shakespeare and Othello. I know that that PDF was kind of long, but there were a lot of pictures in there and the type was really big. I don't think it's like 17 pages of, you know, really small college textbook or anything like that. But I thought that we would play a game of Kahoot before I launch into my little intro about Othello. And I sent a notification, hopefully you got it yesterday, a notification just to let you know we were going to have a little competition today, and so that you could prepare. The winner of today's Kahoot will get a fantastic prize. Tell us all about the prizes. Well, I certainly will tell you about the prizes. The prize is a drop the lowest grade pass. Now, I have never done that in my career. I don't do that sort of thing, but I wanted to encourage you to make sure that your reading was done for today. So the prize will be at the end of the 4-6 weeks. You can tell me which grade you want me to drop, and I will drop that grade for you if you win. It can only be one winner. Well, I guess sometimes on Kahoot there's a tie, right? It could happen. I haven't really seen too many Kahoot ties because it's also based on how fast you respond. So do you want a minute to look over your notes before we start? Because the questions like are going to go kind of fast. I'll probably stop between the questions to talk a little bit, but like once you get the question, you only have like 20 seconds to answer it. So maybe take a couple minutes. Huh?
How many questions are there?
23. All right, let's take 5 minutes, look over your notes, look over what you wrote, because when the questions go up there, they go fast. So take about 5 minutes. I'm going to mute for 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll play the game.
Okay, so good job. Natalia won the contest. I do know that we had a power outage and some people lost power, so I'll think about what would be a fair thing to do since they didn't get to compete. I'll think about that and send y'all a message or something later on. I did want to go over a couple of things and talk about the assignments for this week. Let me put my earphone back on. I don't think they call them earphones anymore, but it's easier to hear me with that one on.
All right, so obviously this week we're starting to read Othello. Othello is in the textbook. So if you still have this one at home from the first semester, it's the same book. To put right here. It's the one with the house and the tree on it. And I put the page numbers. Also, you can access that through online. So maybe I should put the access point on here too. Do y'all read it online or do you read it in the book? I don't know what you prefer. I'll put the link there just in case. That way everybody has access to it, whichever way they prefer. But we're going to be reading it kind of in chunks. Plays are broken up into 5 acts. So we'll be reading the first act this week, basically an act a week. So I wanted to let you know that there is a map here that goes over the setting. One of the questions in the Kahoot was about the location of the play. And so here is the Duchy of Venice, and the play starts off there, but then they travel to Cyprus during the course of the play. And that's over here in the far east of the Mediterranean Sea, near Lebanon and the Middle East. Israel over here would be the modern day equivalent of that. So there's a map here in case you need to take a look at that when you're reading and they're talking about some locations. Also, there's a character link. If you click right here where it says link, you're going to need to keep a list of characters in your notes. And because we lost power, I won't go into this until next week. But I created this, you can't manipulate this if you open it. You can look at it, but you can't adjust it. You can make your own in your notebook. So what I'll do is when we're talking about the play, after we read Act 1, I'll start moving characters around and making connections with the characters. One of the cool things that you can do on Padlet is that you can connect things and then you can label them. So there are different things that I'll do while we're talking about them, but it is good to review the characters before you start reading. In the textbook, there's a page that goes over the characters beforehand. So I'll just put this back over here. So I'll be using this to kind of diagram and talk about what's happening between the characters, but you do need to know that the main character is Othello. That's not a big surprise since the play bears his name. He's called the Moor of Venice. A Moor is someone who is from the northern part of Africa. And for that reason, Othello is often depicted as Black. We don't know if Shakespeare expected that, but we think he probably did. There are some references in the play to racism. Desdemona is his wife. So they have been recently married. These other characters over here, there's not a ton of characters, and it's a fairly short play, but these characters will all start interacting with the other characters over here and each other. So I'm going to use this as kind of like a character map. So you could start to create one in your own notebook if you wanted to, or you could use a Jamboard to set that up for yourself or some other document. But I did want to give you a listing of the characters, and we'll be manipulating them to show relationships and actions and things like that. So the assignment for this week is to come to a conference with me about your essay. So go ahead and set that up. You can do that on the link down here where it says sign up for your essay conference. And also, of course, your formatives. And then read and take notes on Act 1 of Othello. That's going to be from page 1086 to 1101. So, 20 pages or so. There's pictures in there and that sort of thing. When you are doing your notes, oh, I wish I had taken a screenshot. When you're reading Act 1, maybe I can hold it up and you can see. Let me take off this background. I do. Oh, there we go. I'll take off the background and then it will be easier. Okay, so when you're reading, there are footnotes, and there are a lot of them in this play. So as you're reading the text, down here are explanations of what you're reading up here. So do make sure that you read your footnotes. There'll be a little, like a little degree sign. And then that means that you need to go look at the bottom at the notes, because it will explain to you. Sometimes in Shakespeare's it's old writing, and we're not reading a, you know, like younger version or a kid version or anything like that. So sometimes there's an explanation about a word and you might think you know what the word means, but in Shakespeare's time, they use that word differently, etc. So do read your footnotes. Also focus on characterization. Focus on figuring out what are the personal qualities of the different characters that are being presented. Make some notes on that. And well, I said continue adding to the character diagram, but we will do that next week, Wednesday, because I know some people lost their connection, and we'll do the characters next time. But you can look over them. They're on the first page before the actual play starts, is a list of all the characters with a short description. So those are the assignments for this week. I don't have a specific assignment that's due before next class period. So just make sure that you've read Act 1 before you come to class, which is a week from Wednesday. So you've got from now until next Wednesday. So you technically don't have homework on Monday if you have it already done or whatever. So use your time accordingly. Are there any questions about the assignment? No? Okay, you can be free for today. And if anything comes up, let me know. Do sign up for your conferences. They're Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week. So make sure that you sign up and I'll meet with you about your particular essay. So you've got a week then to work on the revision. All right, no questions? All right, well, if something comes up, just contact me. I had fun playing the game with you. I was gonna talk about the things a little bit longer, but I was worried about people losing their charge and stuff. So we'll see what happens. All right, I am going to sign out. So thank you for coming today, and I will see you again next Wednesday, which is the 10th. All right, have a good rest of the day. Enjoy your long weekend.
Bye, Miss. Have a good day.
Bye, you too.